Good afternoon. Welcome to our Facebook Live event today. My name is Laura Spradley. I'm with the Arkansas Geriatric Education Collaborative, and I have the honor of being with Leah Greenfield, the Executive Director for LifeQuest of Arkansas. And we are going to talk to you today about the importance of lifelong learning as we age. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate being included.
Oh, of course. Gosh, I couldn't think of a better resource when we were talking about this topic. I said, I know who I'm going to call. So we are going to get on with the show. I'm going to do a few little housekeeping things here. The Arkansas Geriatric Education Collaborative is able to bring you these wonderful programs through our grant, which is I'm tongue-tied this morning. We are a federally funded HRSA grant, and with their wonderful funding, we are able to do these programs. So we always love to thank our grant funder. And Leah, you can tell the people about LifeQuest at the end of the show, if you don't mind. We'll go through all that, but I want to let everybody know about our grant funding that allows us to do these programs.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I know you know a lot about lifelong learning, and I want you to give us the basics so our audience will understand what is this term, lifelong learning.
Well, lifelong learning is something you choose to do. It is self-initiated just for your own fulfillment, just for your own intellectual, emotional, physical, and spiritual enrichment. That's what how we usually define it, but something that you initiate yourself for yourself. And over the span of your lifetime, we don't stop learning just because we're not in school, or just because we're not at work, or just because we've retired. And the adults that we work with, that I get to work with at LifeQuest, are really inspiring in their passion for learning.
Well, I know I had to learn some new things during the pandemic, so I feel it's like, but it worked out in the end. So it's just that continual challenging yourself, and not using those words, I'm too old. So
oh gosh, no. And the adults that we get to work with are just so amazing in what they continue to do, and the new things that they continue to challenge themselves to learn, after in the post-retirement years.
Absolutely. I can't wait. All right, so let's talk about the importance. We're kind of do the basics here. We talked about what. Now, why would it be so important to keep on learning as we age?
There's just a huge body of research, and it always, I talked to you about this earlier, it always kind of gets on my nerves when people says, well, studies say, or research suggests, but it's too numerous to catalog in the time that we have together. But it's just overwhelming. I mean, just a real quick Google search will show just page after page of all the reasons why, for all kinds of reasons. And some of the ones that are a little bit surprising is that lifelong learning is good for our physical health.
I was shocked to see that too.
It really does so much when we challenge ourselves. But I think it's that still staying useful, having a sense of purpose, having that connectivity to something outside of ourselves. When we are home, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's our physical health, our emotional and mental health, our intellectual health. And so continuing to challenge ourselves, having a reason to get up and out the door, to be a part of something, to learn something, to stay challenged, it helps us in all the realms of our health. And so I think that's just absolutely why we have to. And people need us. People continue to we need each other, and we need each other. And what I find is that when people retire, they're busier than they've ever been.
Absolutely.
I mean, you ask a retired person to go to lunch, and they're going to have to look at their calendar. I mean,
they check my calendar.
They are busy. They're busy because they're and those that are healthier.
That's true. Yes. If your health, if you got your health, you're very double, triple blessed. But yes,
absolutely.
So we kind of talked on this about the benefits, but I know you have a few more reasons, I think, about the benefits.
Well, the intellectual stimulation can prevent some early forms of dementia and Alzheimer's when we continue to challenge our brains.
Yes.
So it helps our memory, all those cognitive reasons for learning. And it can be in a book club. It could be an art class. It could be a language. It could so many different reasons, but even yoga or even getting outside and walking
Yes.
can help that that mental and cognitive health. We can maintain that. The pandemic has really shown us how important staying connected to others socially can help our mental and emotional health. To stave off depression and isolation, we have to continue to challenge ourselves by learning new things and hopefully with others, with people. And we Zoom, people say, I hear, oh, I'm tired of Zoom. I'm tired of my Sunday school class being on Zoom or that book club being on Zoom. But thank goodness for Zoom. We're able to talk to each other today about this important topic on Zoom. So don't knock Zoom. There are a lot of ways that we can continue to challenge ourselves and learn new things and stay connected online. And in fact, it's just a real silver lining, if there is any.
That's about the one plus I can think.
That's about the one plus. I mean, I've never even said the word Zoom before, and had never done Facebook Live, before the pandemic. But we are able at LifeQuest, and I know in faith communities and congregations and so many other different places, museums and our libraries are able to reach larger audiences that they never would have been able to.
And across the continent and the world.
And the world. Yes. We knew it was a small world, but now we're more connected than ever. And if we use that power for good,
that's right.
It can really be a blessing and contribute to that process of lifelong learning.
Absolutely. Good tips. Good. And we also, I think you and I briefly, but it just keeps our self-confidence, to keep learning, to try anyway. It's just going to boost your own self-confidence.
There's a lot of research about this, how important it is to continue to have a sense of purpose and usefulness. And retired aged adults, older adults are the groups that are needed more than any and have the availability to volunteer. And so being able to get out there and connect either to younger generations, to the kids in the public schools, or to the libraries, or to your parks, or in all the places in our cities and our communities that need extra work. We've lost a volunteer crew if our retired and older adults are not those that fill that need. And there is a need. So having that sense of connectivity and that sense of purpose and usefulness, I think is so important for all of us.
Yeah, and to share your skills with the next generation.
You don't stop having things to contribute just because you're not at work. That's
right.
For sure.
Well, I know you're dying to tell us of some examples of lifelong learning. I know you have your own at LifeQuest, but what are some other ones that people might not think of? Arkansas is so blessed.
Arkansas and Little Rock being such a small size city, I really think we are so blessed in Little Rock because of a couple different, for a lot of reasons, but the two that come top of mind to me are our city parks and trails, and our library systems. So that is some real resource that a small city, if we're in a big city, it would be too much traffic. It'd be too much distance to get outside of the city. You can be 5 minutes inside the city, but just 5 minutes outside of your neighborhood, and you're at Two Rivers Trail. Or you're down at the riverfront downtown or near Heifer and Murray Park, or you're at a beautiful city park. Right here. So we are really blessed to be able to have all this natural beauty within our city, and we're just immediately outside our borders. And then our state, of course, is the natural state. So get outside. I think that, and then so many of those trails are paved and easily accessible. We had a group at LifeQuest, but this is open to anybody, hike the Audubon Nature Trail, which is the first highway that you pass on the way to the airport, that first exit. Then,
and they have lots of educational information out there.
Lots of educational. And so then Pinnacle Mountain has the Kingfisher Trail, which is paved. And then, of course, if you go to their outreach and nature center, there's another trail. So lots going on in terms of parks and trails within our city. And then the library systems all over are such resources.
We
And
have
you were
great
telling
libraries.
me about you can rent fishing poles at the library.
Yes, CALS has a great resource of things you can rent. I had no idea until I started working with them on some other things, and they have things you can rent. And of course, their classes, they're either in person, they're online classes. They really, they're big in the lifelong learning, and they've adapted to either Zoom or in person. And
Yeah,
I
lifelong
always,
learning is a mission of CALS for sure.
yes,
They
yes,
from 2 to 102. That would
that's
be,
right.
there's a lots going on with the library systems. And then the public schools are
Oh,
always looking for volunteers. If you don't have grandchildren, you can pick,
you can adapt some.
you can adopt some grandkids and read to kids. There's a lot of ways to get involved in our community through the public schools, whether your grandkids go to public school or not. Public schools need volunteers.
Yes.
And then on the LifeQuest side, that LifeQuest of Arkansas is a 41-year-old organization specifically geared to the lifelong learning enhancement of older adults in our community, our state, and beyond. So because of Zoom, we have folks taking LifeQuest classes outside of Central Arkansas and in our surrounding states.
Wow.
We even have some instructors teaching from out of state and out of country.
Oh my gosh.
Teaching LifeQuest classes. So our classes at LifeQuest are in person and online. So and some of them are a hybrid version of both of those options. And so you don't have to be an expert on Zoom. I hear people, I'm not doing that. That's okay. We'll either teach you how, we'll get you connected, or you can come to classes in person.
Now, have folks already missed the fall semester?
We're right in the 5th of 8 weeks of the fall. So I encourage people, if they're new to LifeQuest or want to learn more, first Google it, find it, and just look up our website, LifeQuest of Arkansas. That's the first thing. Call us, and so I can put our information in the chat here. So our office is 501-225-6073. And then check us out. So get on our mailing list. We only do 4 mailings a year, and that is our course catalog. So if you want to know what the classes are, and that's all we do is classes. We have a couple other volunteer services, but they're all geared around our classes. And right now we have 46 classes in an 8-week term. Wow. In the winter, we'll have another term. It's kind of like a small liberal arts college on the quarter system. But there are no there's no tests.
I was going to say, are there tests?
No tests, no homework, no assigned seating.
All right.
No
it's my kind of school.
Yeah.
And you even have lunch, don't you? If you come in person, you can purchase lunch. So
yes. So you can get a hot meal.
That's great.
And there's no certificate or graduate program. Our mission is just for lifelong learning, which is what our topic is today. So that's the whole point. It's a very low fee. It's $65 for a term. And you can take all the classes you want within that term. So you're not paying by the class.
All right, good clarification. So $65, and you could take 1 to 6 or however many you can fit in your schedule.
How many you can fit in your schedule.
Wow, okay.
A lot of our classes are recorded too. So if you miss a class, you can watch the recording.
Good to know.
Which is a good benefit. So if you're a paid and registered member, we'll give you a password, and then you can find the recordings on our website through that. But we are really finding that people are getting back in person as they're more vaccinated and feeling safer to be back in person. And all of our in-person classes do require vaccination, which is something that is great if you are, it's not if you're not, but if it does help folks feel like they're in a safer place, because all of our folks that, might have a pre-existing condition or a reason to be a little more cautious. So they're back in person and taking classes, or they're Zooming with us, and we provide some training so we can teach you how to do that. We never want that. Or the $65 to keep someone away. So if $65 is a hardship, we do provide scholarships. And if you're not sure about the computer technology, we'll train you how to do that. So,
you've just got it all going on over there.
We figure after 2.5 years, we're spinning a lot of plates, and we've kind of figured out some tips and tricks to keep us running. But it's just a lot of fun. And it's something that it does not involve talking about doctor's appointments, you know,
or the weather,
or COVID.
rain or shine, you can come to good classes.
So,
And that's true for a lot of the things we were promoting today. You could do
right. Something that is more positive and uplifting besides some of the headlines that we read in the
news. Yes. Yeah. Turn off the news and go do some lifelong learning, right? So that could be our new motto.
Right. Turn off the news. Except we do have a couple classes that are specifically about, one of them's behind the headlines.
So, fun. Okay. Well, except for that class.
Except for that class, turn off the news and, talk about travel or books or, art, something that's a little more uplifting.
Yeah. And I did skip over one of our questions that we talked about. Do individuals need to be proactive? And you did answer it. You were like spot on. Like, this is something they need to take the initiative. Right?
Yes, but it's okay to do it with a friend.
Exactly.
If you always wanted to learn Mahjong, bring a friend. Y'all come together. If you've wanted to learn how to watercolor, but if you're a little bit if you have not picked up a brush in a long time, or you never have ever, and you want to take a beginning watercolor class here or at the art center, take a friend with you or a neighbor. Right. Yes, you have to be proactive, but sometimes it's a little easier to do that with a friend.
Right. Or the other side would be, when you go to the class, you'll make some new friends. So, and then in the future, you could go to a class with your new friends. So,
and something that we haven't talked about that we see a lot in our members is a lot of older adults, whether they're recently retired or in their later years, are caregivers, either for a parent or a spouse. And so a lot of our populations of members at LifeQuest are in a caregiving role, whether they have a spouse or a parent at an assisted living or a memory care facility. Being able to do something for yourself is okay.
Yes.
And I really, really think it's important. You can be a better caregiver when you take a break to be a part of a book club or be a part of a language class, take a history class, do something that is for your brain and for yourself and connect you to other people to talk about something else besides some of the heavier topics that you need to in order to be a good caregiver. So that's another reason. And I hope people give themselves permission to do that. And then you can bond with other people who are perhaps in a similar situation.
Yeah. Well, that's a great ending. Thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. And to take advantage of those Zoom classes, if you can't get out of the house because you are caregiving, take advantage of some of the technology. And
you can share that with your person you're caregiving too. That's a nice benefit for something that you can watch and participate in together, but in a way that's more accessible.
That's right. That's right. Leah, I can't thank you enough. You've put your phone number in there. Would you mind telling us your website one more time?
LifeQuest of Arkansas. .org, or you can just Google LifeQuest of Arkansas.
Very good. Okay. And okay, so we're going to have Leah put her website in there, but it is LifeQuest of Arkansas. We are the Arkansas Geriatric Education Collaborative at UAMS in the Department of Geriatrics, and we are agec.uams.edu, and I will also put that in the chat. And you can find us there. We have lots of online programs too. And we do come, if you check out our website, we have in-person classes as well for small groups. So check us out as well. Leah, I can't thank you enough. And I'm going to call it a great program and a great success. So thank you.
Particularly in 2023, make that a goal to do some lifelong learning, something for yourself.
All right.
Thank you, Laura.
Have a great day. Enjoy the weather, everyone.
Thank you so much.